And I run into these lists, there's so many of them now, about what you should do immediately. And being somebody that thinks for himself and has been for pretty much all his life, having been doing our own thing, retire early lifestyle, homesteading for 10 years back in the States, traveling the world, traveling the USA in a travel trailer with children, doing all of those things, being someone that has pretty much made his own life, his own schedule, together with the family, the wife and children. And so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna cull, like, as usual, the creme de la creme off of like 15 different things that are being promoted as the habits that you need to adopt immediately. The word immediately here establishes an urgency. What is so urgent about these 15 things and habits that we need to adopt immediately? You'll see that actually really just causes us to procrastinate and delay our freedom. So the title should be, they want us to lose our focus. So I'm going to give you the handful of the top 5 out of these 15, and then I'm going to finish off with a handful of the things that you actually need based on my lifetime experience. And so I don't want to go through the whole 15 items here. I'm just going to pick the top 5, but I will tell you which ones I'm not going to cover. For example, things like saying that you must immediately adopt exercise. Well, sure, yeah, everybody should exercise, right? We all know we're supposed to exercise. And, you know, dental hygiene, like, yeah, we all know we should brush our teeth every morning. I mean, do we really need to sit here and watch videos to tell us to exercise and brush our teeth? That's why I'm not going to waste any time with those. Those are like, no, bong, 3 X's, wrong. And the thing is that a lot of these things, it's like, they're things we know we should be doing. And it seems to me that if you're somebody that isn't doing any of these, then you should adopt them immediately. Because it's one of those things that everybody should be doing. It's like, yes, you should be eating healthy. You should be brushing your teeth. You should be getting 7 to 8. These are actually on here on this list. You should be getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep. Other things on here like stay hydrated. I don't want to bore you with these. Here's another one, make your bed in the morning, because this somehow gives you, starts the day off on the right path of being organized. You know, some of you aren't going to like this, but I have never made my bed in the morning. Why? I mean, you've got people that go abroad and they hire maids and this kind of thing, and you don't have to make your own bed. You know, other people simply have stay-at-home wives make the beds, you know. So, you know, it's just some of these things are just such a waste of time. And so I wanted to spare you that. You know, meditate. It's like meditate. Well, I don't meditate per se, but I like to, as you can see, spend time in nature. To me, that's just as well as meditating when I let go of things that I'm concerned about. We need to let the worries and the concerns of the day kind of put them aside and let our mind give it a rest. And nature does that for me. And for some people it's meditating. But I'm just saying that on the list it says meditating. Well, I don't meditate. So I'm just saying a lot of these things...
Well, you don't meditate in the way that people meditate. They cross their legs, they
whatever,
sit there.
It's a release valve, whatever it is. Whatever it
exactly.
is.
You know, this is our release valve coming
and
to
we
the
don't call it meditating. That's my point. We just come to the beach and we have relaxation. And it's part of the retire early as a lifestyle, which is what we promote on this channel. Right here, they're telling us 15 habits that we need to adopt immediately. And yes, I agree. You need relaxation in your life, but you don't necessarily need the things that are in this information the way that they are presented and promoted. When we were in the States, I used to spend time almost every day in the garden. To me, that was relaxation. And it seems to me that people that are on high pressure 9 to 5 schedule
Rat race?
would be the ones, let's call it rat race, would be the ones that would need to make that little time for relaxation in order to get that meditation in order to get the relaxation. It's kind of a canned relaxation. You know, number 12, be honest. Okay, well, listen, if you're not already an honest person, somebody telling you in a video to be honest, I'm not sure how far that's going to go. You know. You know, and so some of these have a lot to do with the integrity and character of a person and where they get that and where that comes from in a person's life. And be polite, that's actually on the list, be polite. And so you're probably thinking, okay, Frank, you told us all these things that I'm glad you saved us from watching this video. What are those handful of things that you think we really should be doing and adopting immediately? Well, I've got them written down here. And the number one thing is focus. A person needs to focus. If you don't have focus, it's really easy to, when you lose focus, is to lose your bearing. It's like when you're on a sailboat, they teach you, I'm a sailor, that if you have to focus on a point with your sails because the wind is blowing, and the wind that is blowing is distractions in life. Distractions in life will blow us this way and blow us that way, and it can be just as easy as sitting down on your computer and seeing a video title that says 15 things you need to adopt immediately. Oh, better watch it. And then it's all these time wasters. So focus is how we stay on track of our trajectory, the plans that we have thought out. So focus is number one, primo numero uno. And a lot of times people don't have focus, not just because of distractions. It could be health reasons. It could be, you know, just a variety of reasons, perhaps beyond one's control. When we aren't focused, at least we know it, and we should know that focus needs to be a top priority in order to achieve the life that we want. The next thing is initiative. Initiative is huge. A lot of people have structure in their life, and that's one of the things that you do get on a 9 to 5 kind of existence, the job existence. But when you're a self-determined person living intentionally, the first thing you do is you focus, but the next thing is you've got to have initiative. You've got to set down what the steps are that you're going to take, and you need to take that first step. So without initiative, without truly taking that first step, you'll never get started. And when you don't ever get started, this is where procrastination takes over, and it becomes a huge stumbling block in a person's life. So yes, you got to focus, and you got to establish an initiative. You know, you've got to get started on your plan, and you've got to get that first step rolling, regardless of what it is. Make that list and take that first step, no matter how little that step is. Initiative. And these aren't in any order of importance, really, that because I've saved la creme de la creme, which means every single one of these is a top priority that you really do need to adopt immediately. Because if you don't, then you'll have true failure. Because, I mean, if I don't make my bed in the morning, I'm not going to have failure, because I've got my situation set up to where the bed's going to get made, and so do a lot of other people. And so the next thing is determination. Determination is huge. I learned this when I was a young man. You've got all of the things in life that we are told that people have an advantage. Oh, you're privileged. You know, you have an education. You know, determination trumps education. Determination trumps privilege. There's lots of examples of people that never finished school that achieved, you know, they dropped out of college. I don't even want to mention some of the names because I don't want to talk about those people, but other people that come to mind that I have met personally in my life, that some of them didn't even finish 5th grade, and they went on to own dozens of businesses and just be very successful in life. And so determination trumps a lot of the things that normally makes us feel like perhaps we're the underdog, or we don't have what it takes, or we can't compete and we can't match up with people that have more education than we do, people that have more connections than we do, people that have more money than we do. If you have determination, true determination, you can trump all of those things that normally would make us feel like we have a disadvantage.
Well, it also gives you purpose when you have determination. You have purpose.
Well, you have singleness of purpose in that you don't give up. You know, you're determined to make it happen, and you find a way. Where there's a will, there's a way. And the next thing, which is last but not least, is a plan that aligns with your values. Now, this is huge, because lots of people, when I was younger and I was looking for success back in my, when I was a teenager and I graduated from high school, I was studying all these different ways to change my mindset, because I came from a family that were not, nobody in my parents weren't business people. They were pretty much just working class immigrants, and I didn't have any of the privileges, and I had the desire to be successful. And the school of thought back then was that you have to have a plan, but what they weren't telling you is that the plan needs to align with your values. For example, I found myself, after I started several and had several going businesses and having achieved a certain level of success, I found myself wanting to go to the next level, right? But in order to go to the next level, I had to be away from my family. I had to travel out of town. I had to move to a large metro area, something that I had done the complete opposite. I had learned that I really didn't enjoy living in very large metro areas. I really enjoyed the more the slower pace of life in the smaller towns, and I enjoyed the family life and the stay-at-home life. All of the things that I started realizing that really gave me true enjoyment, which is success in my life. I would have had to ignore all of those things, because remember, back then we didn't have the internet, okay? So you have even more advantage today than we've ever had in history, some people would say, just because we have the internet. But when we didn't have it, we had to plan on going to these areas that did not align with my values. So yes, your plan, you need to have that plan, but it needs to align with your values and the person that you are called to be, the true person that you are really called to be, and the values that you hold, the true values that have meaning, true meaning in life. I'm glad you stayed with the video. I hope you got some inspiration from it. Thank you for coming to the channel, and have a wonderful day.
That was good, huh?